Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I have another layout. Here's some of the stuff I'm going to be using. This is the Crafter's Workshop 12 by 12 template, a picture of my grandson and October afternoon sticky keys, that smile washi tape that came in the kit. And these cutouts I had done for a previous layout. It was washi tape on white cardstock and I just punched it out. And just things that were from the kit. Not all of it is going to make it to the layout, but I just basically went through the kit and grabbed everything that was yellow. And a lot of it is scraps. I still haven't used those cut and paste enamel shapes. I'm hoping that I'll use them soon. I think this last layout that I'm working on, I'm trying to fit them on. This is the 20th layout using this kit. It took me 37 minutes to complete, and I'm down to my scraps, and a lot of it is even the second pattern paper, and then I'm making that so that it scraps. So first I'm going to take that template and some butter bar ink from Hero Arts and a sponge, it's a foam sponge brush or sponge, and it's from Ranger, and it comes in a big sheet, 8.5 by 11, and then you just cut it down to size. And this time I think that's what was left, so I just kind of grabbed the whole thing because it was a big, template. But once I was done, I just cut the little piece that was yellow, and then the rest I'll use it for something else. So basically I have a yellow background, and then I'm making that butter bar, which is a deeper yellow. And instead of spraying, I like to use inks on my templates. I find that it's less messy and I have good coverage. And then if you want to add more than one color to it, makes it easier to do. In a couple of layouts, I'm going to use a template, and I'm going to use I think 4 or 5 different colors on the template. So it makes it so you have more control. It does take a little longer than, taking a spray and just, I would be done by now and moved on to the next section, but I like the controlled inking of it. And I really love that template. It's just basically like splotches, so it looks like splotches of inks, and then hearts. And I don't even know if I have that template close. I could say what it is. No, I think I put it away. But if you look under Crafter's Workshop, you'd be able to find it. It's one of their newest release. Like, it's been out for a few months, but it's one of the newest release. So this is a picture of my grandson that we had taken him to a photo place to get his pictures done a couple months ago. And they had little teddy bears, and we got his picture taken with that. And I just thought it was cute because we always ask him to be a bear and he growls. So that worked out great with that. So I'm going to use that star paper that came in the kit, and I'm just going to mat, and I'm going to leave enough that I can put his name beside the picture. And I'm going to use the wood veneers that came in the kit. And it's getting harder and harder for me to be able to do titles with that. The next few layers, you're going to see I'm going to take them out all, or maybe I did it off camera, but I've been taking them out and trying to make more layouts, more titles with it, and I'm running out of letters. I think I'm almost out of all alphas. So hopefully, they sell them separately, so I can buy another package and make more lettering with it. So that pattern paper, I think it was from Pebbles with all the speech bubbles. I'm just going to cut out 3 speech bubbles, and they're all, the only one that coordinates with this page is the one that says smile. So I'm going to cut out 3 of them and use it on this page. I used a leftover of that brown and cream paper, leftover of that chevron white and yellow, And then also I'm going to use that other, I'm going to put one more piece of scrap there, and it's the back side of that speech bubble from Pebbles. It's sort of yellow and white stripes, and it's right there, and it's all like in quadrants. So I'm going to cut a strip out, and I'm going to use that on the back, or the back of it, and I'm going to put it to the right of the layout so it's underneath the brown and white polka dot. I'm going to cut it down. It's a full strip right now, and I'm just going to cut it down and stick it underneath. So while I'm just kind of finishing off putting, you know, the different layers, I'm going to put another piece of that layout, that white and yellow pattern right there. So while I'm playing with embellishments, I'll just read another question that I got. And it's from Tracy Zook, and she said, you said something in reply to my comment that caused another question. You said you were starting to look through the September kit. Do you look through it and then decide what photos you think will go with it, and print those, or do you try not to match photos to kit? Just crop whatever photos you feel like doing next. Thanks. Basically, I just look through the papers, and I do that in one sitting. And then if you go back, and I think I saw another comment that you said you went back and you saw that I did a paper selection and put all the papers together. So I do that, and then I go through a whole bunch of photos, and I decide what photos I'm going to scrap. And it's not necessarily, I don't think, oh, that photo will look good with these pattern paper, but I think with maybe playing with the pattern paper, it kind of sets my mind to what colors are in that kit. So maybe that helps, but it's not something I do consciously, I guess. But the fact that when I get at about 15 layouts, I start itching, you know, like, oh, it's going to be time soon that I'm going to start working on the new kit. So I start taking it out. I start looking at the pattern papers. I do that maybe 3 or 4 times. And then like now I'm doing page 23. So probably this afternoon I'm going to sit down and I'm going to do it again, but this time I'm going to match the papers. And then I'll do my paper selection, the video. And then after that, I'll sit down and choose a stack of paper that I want to scrap. And then as I choose those paper selections that I already did, then I go through that stack and try to match some papers up or some photos up. And it's just to try to narrow it down. One, because before I went digital, I used to print all my pictures, and I used to take hundreds of rolls a year, hundreds. And every roll I would print it in 3s. So I have those shoe boxes. I have probably 50 of them and they fit about 1,000 pictures, plus all the digitals that I only print a little bit now, right? So I have tons of pictures. So that's kind of overwhelming. So if I narrow it down and go, okay, now I'm going to scrapbook this, I'm in the mood to scrapbook that, it kind of helps it. So I hope that helps. And while I was chatting away, I changed the colors of those asterisks using a Copic marker, and I used a brown one because this layout, I like to choose normally 2 tones for my layouts. So this layout here, I chose brown and yellow. And now I might choose different tones of yellows, and different tones of browns, but I like to keep it in 2 tones. And now I'm cutting around those speech bubbles. And I also took out some of those sequins, and they're sort of a wood green. And that actually is in an upcoming kit, and I usually don't take out an upcoming kit. But what happened is around Christmas time, they had buy, a scrapbook kit for $5. So I bought one, and it was just a kit that I already had. So I just kind of put it with I took all the embellishments out and I'm trying to use them. And I think this was actually in the September kit, which is the one that's coming up. So, and what I'm punching out now is actually some washi tape that I had put on some white cardstock and for another layout, and I had some left over, so I just kept it. And I had done some in gray, a few shades of grays and a few shades of yellow, and I just kept it. And now whenever I need something, you know, that I can punch out, I already have it done up. So that's usually what I do when I take the time to do something like that. It might look like I'm doing it overkill because I'm doing a whole bunch, but what I do is then I just keep it. I don't punch out the shapes because I might need a different shape at that other time. And but I keep it in a little tray. Oh, I know another question, and oh shoot, I don't remember. Maybe it was Tracy also. And she asked, because I took out one of my trays, and she asked what was that tray? And it's actually an iris. It is at Michael's, and it is with those iris containers, and it says iris on it too, and it's to fit inside those iris containers, and they're perfect, and they're $9.99. And what I do is I either wait till they're 50% off, or I use a 40 or 50% coupon, so I pay $5 or $6 for them. And I have a couple of them so that at this point, when I start getting my September kit ready, and I'm not quite done with my August, I have that second one that I can work, you know, get my September kit ready. So that was another question. I forgot about that. I tried to go, I wished there was an easier way that they would come in order, because anyway, they don't come in order. And on my phone, half of them go in the junk file, and I really like the way it was before. Like I had a place that I could go and the comments would be in order, and it was so much easier. But anyway, so what I just placed there was actually the last of those Dear Lizzie frames. I had cut it for another layout, and it was only a little strip left, and I didn't want to throw it out because I really like those frames. So I used it on this layout because it was yellow, and it just helped frame its name. And then I had cut out some digital prints, and these digital prints, I bought the file at Studio Calico, but I get them printed at Staples, and it ends up being like 50 cents a sheet, so it's really cheap. And you print it on glossy paper, so it looks like a die cut sheet. It's awesome. I love them. And if you're on my Facebook group, if you go under files, there's a file there that says Staples, how to print digital prints at Staples, and I have a step-by-step how to do that at Staples for Canada anyway, because I can't log in as any other country, but in Canada it's step by step and what you should be looking for and where it is on the page and everything. So now I'm going to start gluing my embellishments down. And what I do is when I glue embellishments, if I don't know if I want something else to go in behind that embellishment, I glue the top of it down, so then the bottom is not stuck down. And if I don't know if I want something, that would fit in between that layer, then I would stick it in the back. So depending where I think I might want to put a layer, kind of dictates where I'm going to put the glue. Now I'm using some foam tape to put in behind. This one here is Stampin' Up! Dimensional from Stampin' Up! And then the other one is a big roll, and it's Scotch 3M, and I got it at Custom Crops, and I paid like 33 or 36 bucks. And I've had it for almost a year now, and I mean, there's still a ton. And at the time I made a mistake and I ordered 2 within a month, so I have 2 huge rolls, but I don't mind. I don't plan on stopping scrapbooking anytime soon, and I don't think that will go bad, so I think I'll be good for a while. I don't need to buy foam tape for a while. And now I'm going to use that washi tape, and it kind of has a waxy feeling to it, and I absolutely love it. I got it in, I had purchased it myself too, but that roll there, I got it in a Studio Calico kit. And I don't mind that I have a second roll because, oh my goodness, I love that tape. I literally had to put it away because I was using it all the time. And it's quite used up. Now I'm going to use some of those sequin stars. And I love in each embellishment cluster, I love adding, I'd say 5 different embellishments, 5 to 6 different embellishments. And when I choose my embellishments, what I do is I don't sit there and put it, through all the embellishments. What I do is I throw it all in the middle of the page. So I'll go around and I'll choose like those star asterisks. I'll put it in the middle of the page. I chose those speech embellishments. I put it in the middle of the page. I chose those hearts that I had done with the washi tape, and then I chose those digital prints, and then I took out a star, and then I punched out butterflies, and I made sure that I had it enough for the 3 clusters, and the washi I'm going to spread it, and then the twine. And then when I go and I start spreading it out, before I spread it out though, what I do is I like to glue down the main element of my page. So that means all the pattern paper. I glue it down so it doesn't move. And then I start moving my embellishments around the different clusters. And then how do I determine where I put a cluster? I usually put a cluster close to my title. And I started that a few months ago, and I really like it. Now it seems that I'm always gravitating to that. I like to put a cluster that's really close to my photo. And then I go, let's say, to the left of it, and then so here I have it where it says Mason. I have a cluster here. Then I went down to the bottom left, and it happened really well because I had put a strip down there that was a branding strip, and I love using the branding strips from pattern papers. I never throw those out, and I try to use as much as I can as soon as I cut it off. If not, I put it with the rest of my pattern papers, and I always have it at hand so that I can try to use it up. And then I put it to the top, like right above the photo is where I put another cluster. And now I am putting, it's called this to that dot adhesive, and it's from American Craft, and it's awesome to put on twine. I love, that's the main thing I use it for, and that's the only reason I bought it, was for that, because it just puts dot adhesive on my twine, and then I can do that loop-de-loop thing with it, and it works awesome. So now the page is complete. I'm going to show you a few close-ups of the total layout, and then I also go to each little cluster and I show you a close-up of that cluster. If you want to see more close-up pictures, you can go to 2 Peas in a Bucket, Studio Calico in the members gallery on Nicole Jones 911, or on my YouTube channel. You can go in the description, join my Facebook group, and also Pinterest, which is also linked on my Facebook, on my YouTube channel. So thanks for watching. Bye.